I was doing some research on a recent video, and I thought of something that maybe I could share with you. My dad used to do this thing with the Historical Society. He'd every once in a while he'd give a good old-fashioned book report about something that he'd read that was relevant to the historical issues they were interested in. So here's a little book report for you. This is the Oxford History of Board Games by David Parlett. Parlett, maybe. I say Parlett. Yes, it doesn't have its fancy, colorful dust jacket. I don't know what happened to that. But trust me, that's what this is. It was published in 1999 by the Oxford University Press, which is probably why it's called that. And I think it's kind of cool that it is dedicated to Irving Finkel, the big game hunter for the British Museum. Usually when I pull this off the shelf, I go right to the index in the back there because I'm researching a specific game. And then I'll go there, I'll read about it, I'll use the information. But it's also got a lot of other peripheral information about games in general. Mr. Parlett has his own game collection taxonomy, categorization of games, and that might be of interest to collectors and researchers. And also kind of handy when you're looking for a particular kind of game to be able to describe it better. His research into historic games and ancient games does a real nice job of comparing and critiquing other game researchers' information, looking at their opinions and their interpretations of things. He also talks a little bit about the philosophy and the psychology of playing games. And then in addition to all this, it's just a good read. It does read very smoothly, unlike a lot of academic texts. The book's been reprinted. Mine's a first edition, but there have been some updates and some additions over the years. And I must say that if you are researching more current games, anything even within the last 50 years or so, you're probably not going to find much about it in here. The last chapter of the book talks about modern games, and that includes things like Monopoly and Scrabble and Clue, even up to Pictionary and Trivial Pursuit. There's information in there about Risk and some war games, and even just a quick summary of role-playing games. But that's really not what this book is about. But it is, along with about a half a dozen others, one of the main resources that I go to when I'm doing research. And I'll talk about those other books in future episodes if you're interested. But the Oxford History of Board Games by David Parlett is definitely one that you may want to pick up for your library on games. And so there you go.